Our final presenter is Lise Oakley, the Executive Director of the Chilliwack Mural Festival. Lise was born and raised in Chilliwack and moved back to Chilliwack in 2021 with her young son and partner. She owns Good Digital, a creative agency, is the Executive Director of the Chilliwack Arts Council, and is a sessional instructor at the University of the Fraser Valley in the design department. Lise is bilingual, francophone, with Acadian roots, has a degree in communications from Simon Fraser University, and has many stories to tell from the 10 years of playing in a band. She enjoys rebuilding retro 90s mountain bikes, photography, gardening, and taking long walks on Island 22 with her dog, Mac. We're so glad she is back in Chilliwack doing good with the annual Mural Festival. Lise, over to you.
Thank you. This is not a mural. This is an owl who in early 2022 came into my life. 6 brazen swoops later, I was afraid, so my dog and I left the park to go post the experience online. A few friends reached out to share with me that in their culture, an owl swooping down can mean a few things. It can mean that death is coming or looming. It can also mean an omen of significant change in your life. I felt the dread for the best of couple weeks as we had just moved from Vancouver to Chilliwack, bought a house, started a new business, got a puppy. About 4 weeks go by, I'm still on edge, and I get a message from someone by the name of Amber Price. Amber is a community activist, founder of the Mural Festival, owner of the Bookman. She'd seen my photo online with the mural in the background that you see here, recognized me from a previous encounter in Vancouver, and asked if I would go for beers. We met at District 1881, had a drink on the patio with great discussion around community advocacy, the future of Chilliwack, and went about our way, hoping that we'd see each other again soon. Not even 48 hours later, I get a call from Amber. She asked if I would consider joining the board of directors with the Arts Council, or, just take on the role of the director of the Mural Festival. I was surprised about the big ask and curious how she knew I was even capable. She had known me for about 2 hours? What she did know is that I was well connected in Vancouver's arts community, that I had played music in a recording and touring band, and that's me with the flute, and played many festivals across Canada. She also told me that she was looking for someone to make the festival cooler. Whatever that means, I'll take her word for it. I always think that I got handed the keys to a sweet new ride. That being said, fraught with challenges ahead and so much opportunity. Coming from a communications background, I decided to go with a rebrand of the festival as a first step to establish ourselves visually and as a professional festival that would reach wider international audiences. I started planning for the festival event with a 5-month timeline. My biggest concern was, how do I even make this happen in a town I'm no longer familiar with? Well, I hit the ground sprinting, pretty much. Fast forward to summer 2022, 14 new murals, 1 big day party, 3 stages across downtown, 60 volunteers, 40 plus artists and performers, and $120,000 raised, more than half going to artists. I learned how much work producing a mural festival was, and in that moment, I would never do it again. But I say that every year. And with ongoing negotiations with the Arts Council, I was able to bring Mural Festival into their fold to access more funds and focus on building up Chilliwack's arts and culture scene. We also approached Carrie Lynn Victor in the previous slide, a local Chiam Nation artist, to co-curate in 2023. For 2023, we decided to have our festival over 3 days with the influence of how funding structures work. Thank you, governments. To be able to qualify for larger federal and provincial grants, your event has to fit within 24 hours or 29 days. We also wanted to have a larger representation of the Stalo community within the festival and worked to include that throughout in 2023. When the festival happened, it was great, but felt a little less excitement than the previous year. We were competing with the Chilliwack Fair. This year, we're not. Had hot temperatures, and a big focus for me personally was learning the curation side of things and the mural painting. Now that I have 2 years under my belt, I thought I'd share with you what I've learned so far throughout my experience. 1, murals are what draw people to the festival first and foremost. We know this from a recent survey, and from all the anecdotal evidence we've had over the years. They can be temporary and permanent, but add so much to our downtown. 2, art is subjective. And I hear many opinions about where murals should go, who should paint them, and that the cat is scary. But at the end of the day, these conversations are good to have. 3, people love connecting with artists, especially international artists, as do I. Last summer, I took Satter and her partner from Guangzhou, China, to Vancouver Pride, as they had never been to one and cannot be out in their home city or country. Seeing their faces was priceless. Painting a 60-foot community mural is wild. And while the idea was great, the execution was ambitious and the takedown painful. Thankfully, we were able to reuse the plywood to create a more modest 24-foot mural that is now at Chilliwack General Hospital's physio clinic. 5, your team of core people and volunteers is everything. Collecting a knowledge base of skilled and passionate people helps to grow the vision. They will weed whack all of Kip Avenue at a moment's notice, get ramps built for accessibility, pull weeds and garbage from scary places, give tours. The list goes on and on. Last one. Amber asked me to always keep the soul in the festival. To me, that's thinking about the artists and community first, going deeper on inclusive art experiences, accessibility, and impact. That's what I look forward to building for this year's festival. Directing Chilliwack Mural Festival has been a life-changing shift. It's been an omen of confidence, of resiliency, of rejection, of my first gray hairs, of dealing with frustrations, of lifelong friendships and business relationships. And folks, next time I see an owl, I'm gonna run. Thank you.